It's flip-flop season, friends. Time to grab those flip-flops and enjoy the sun. I am ready. So today I have a fun summer wreath project. I found this fun wreath and I'm going to be using the flip-flop flowers transfer. There's 4 different sayings on here. I'm going to be using, obviously, it's flip-flop season transfer, or that part of the transfer. So I'm going to start off by cutting off that transfer from my backing. You don't have to cut it away from the backing. I just like to do that. You can cut the whole thing if you want to, but I'm using the square simple shape. And before I chalk, I'm going to give it a quick wax. I'm just going to spread on the wax and then wipe it off. Still need to find my little wax applicator. I don't know what I did with that. So once I have fuzzed my transfer, because it is brand new, I'm going to put it on that surface. You'll see the saying fits on there perfectly. I'm not going to use the flip-flops. You'll see why in a minute. And then I transferred this onto my fuzzing cloth because I didn't want the rest of that transfer sticking to my table, which I knew it would. So I grabbed some black velvet chalk paste and I'm just going to get to chalking on my surface. Just want to make sure you spread it all along the screen, get all those spots, and then scrape up any excess. And look at that. I love how that turned out. I decided to use black so it gives it a nice pop on my wreath, and it turned out perfectly. So I'm going to grab my wreath and I'm going to grab my greenery and I'm just going to start placing it, the greenery on my wreath where I think it looks good. I'm not like an official wreath maker by any means. As with any crafts, I just kind of, have an idea and just kind of go with it. So I'm just going to start placing the greenery and add some hot glue as I go. So I found some adorable little flip-flops at the store that I really wanted to use on this wreath. So I was trying different spots to put them on the wreath, and ultimately I decided that they just didn't work, so I was gonna move on. And so then I moved on to making the bow for my wreath so that I can figure out where I want my greenery, if I need more greenery, which I probably do, but I just figured I'd make the bow so I can, I'm very visual, so I need to see the bow where I want it so that I can figure out what to add next. So once I have my bow made, and you'll see I have that cute little pink daisy that's not permanently attached yet, but that's kind of the look that I'm going for. Grabbed my little flip-flop sign, and again, I'm trying so hard to get those flip-flops to work. But ultimately I decided or realized that my wreath just isn't big enough for those flip-flops, and that's why they didn't work. But you will see those flip-flops used in another project, I promise, because I really want to use those. So once I have my bow attached, I'm going to fluff it up and I'm going to add more greenery and just continue adding more and more to my wreath. So now I'm just trimming the tails on my bow. I'm just cutting them at an angle. Just curious, how do you cut your bows? Do you cut them at an angle like that, or do you cut them in a V? I kind of alternate back and forth between that myself. So I have attached the bow to my wreath, but I also added some hot glue there just to keep it a little more stable. And then I'm going to add that pink daisy, so cute, right in the center. I had some more. I thought about adding more daisies, but in the end I felt like it was a bit too fussy, and I typically don't like my projects extra fussy, just a personal preference. So I'm going to grab my sign, and I hot glued the pipe cleaner to the back. I ended up actually adding 2. I should have known better. One would have made it just too floppy. And I also went back and staple gunned that to the back because Alabama heat, it fell right off. Of course, I should have known better. So once I attach that to the side, you'll see I was really trying to make those flip-flops work, y'all. They're so cute. You will see those in a future project. But in the end, I'm still super happy that this wreath turned out so cute. And it just goes to show that sometimes you have an idea for your project and you start it and it kind of goes a little bit different or in a different direction, and it can still turn into a great project. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.